Hello, welcome back. My name is Megan with Rose Moon Healing, and this is going to be, I'm going to keep it brief as much as I can, a little video around sort of a spiritual ascension and kind of what can be the byproduct of that, but it's really based around this idea of absolute freedom and sovereignty. There was a quote recently that somehow came into my awareness, and I'm not sure where, but it's a quote from a Janis Joplin song, and it's freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. And that hit me so deeply, especially at this time, because personally I have felt a great purging, and I'm no stranger to purging. I'm a Scorpio moon. I have a lot of planets in the 8th house, so death, transformation, rebirth, I'm game for. I'm down. But recently in my spiritual journey and my ascension process that I've been, it's almost been like turned up a notch. Like the dial has been turned up a notch, even from last year, even from 2020. I was trying to remember the year that I had my first spiritual awakening, and I want to say it was 2012. I think a lot of people were a part of that collective of that 2012 awakening, but then it was like, it went deeper and deeper every time. Like every time I would think like, I'm good, I get it now. There was another like tower moment and dark night of the soul and just traumatic, more things to heal, more things to process that would come through every other year or so. And so that hasn't ever stopped. And death and purging and loss, loss of relationships, loss of jobs, loss of, kind of like anything material world things like money, homes, like anything that root chakra foundational things, like the loss of that. I'm very familiar to that. No stranger to that. As many of us are who are on the spiritual path, like it's a part of it, right? But right now I feel it's an even deeper layer that we're being invited into, because there's a lot of people, there's almost a divide where there's so many people that are recognizing this lack of control in the world, in the circumstances, what's happening, and the loss, and things are being taken from them, right? There is death, there is job loss, there is money loss, there is freedom loss, there is so much change and things that are being taken from people. And their egos are strongly reacting and gripping really tightly and really wanting to hang on. People are losing everything. Everything, right? Individually, collectively, we really see it. We see it everywhere. And people are doing everything they can to not lose. So they lose whatever the thing is. So they are self-abandoning. They are evading. They are lying. They're being deceitful to themselves and others, but firstly to themselves. And they're clinging to attachments, contracts, people, experiences, things that they know, their higher self, and they know is not right for them. It's not for them. And they're making choices that are directly in conflict to who they truly are, but they're making those choices out of this fear of a loss of control, lack of control. We see this everywhere. If you are a spiritual being and you have been working a spiritual path, you can probably see it even more. If you identify as being a starseed, you see everything. So we can see it, and we've seen it in ourselves. Hopefully, if we are spiritual people, then we are turning that mirror back on us and reflecting and looking at, what am I clinging to? What am I resisting? What am I trying to control? What am I in this like scarcity need for? But what's really beautiful, and what I'm really starting to see within myself and within others, is when enough things are taken from you and stripped and you have no control. And like I said, these are relationships. These are material world things that exist in the 3D. So money, jobs, I named it. You get it. I already named it. You can identify where in your life you can see this. When enough of those things leave, there's this void that almost comes in where it's complete darkness. and you're forced to go inward. Your ego is forced to sit the fuck down. Your ego's like, well, it's over. It's over. Why even try? And your ego almost like gives up for a moment. And that's that beautiful pause. That's that beautiful void. And in that is all the magic. In that is your sovereignty, is your truth, is your mission. It's who you truly are. It's your fucking freedom. And I'm super cursing on this one because it's being channeled. Like, I'm super passionate about this one. It's the point where I was clinging to this. I was clinging, and it was still taken away, and I still lost it. So I guess all that's left for me to do is surrender. I guess all that's left for me to do is choose myself, is to put myself first, is to choose my freedom and my sovereignty and my choice, my right to choose first. And that's why that quote, I think, hit me so deeply, because I've felt that. I felt that where in the past, there's certain things that have really, really affected me, really, really, you could say, triggered me when they've left. Money is a big one, right? Friendships, people in your life that all of a sudden you're just not in harmony anymore. And it's kind of like, oh, that's sad. Why, and it's been really, really devastating. But right now, I actually feel like, cool, everything that's leaving and that's being stripped away is 100% divinely meant to be. And what it's teaching me, it's not so much about the loss. It's not so much about that thing leaving. I think we like to say, like, well, if it's leaving, it's not for me. And that could be true. But I really think on the deeper level, on what's really going on, is these things are leaving to show you your own sovereignty and freedom. So these things could come back in after this lesson, right? After this is really embodied and understood that you are 100% free and sovereign and you have nothing left to lose, so you can't fuck it up. There's no choice you can make. There's no thing that you can do that's going to mess it up once you have no attachment, once you have nothing left to lose. When you have attachments, you're making choices based out of fear, based out of this attachment. I must do this, which doesn't necessarily feel good to me and does feel like self-abandoning, but I must do this in order to keep this thing. So when you get to that point where enough of it has fallen away and you're really just in this like, surrender with the universe, with God, you're in this void, this darkness, you don't know what's coming. You can't see it. It's unknown to you. It's unknown to your 3D human version of yourself. Your higher self is chilling. Your higher self knows. Your higher self is good. But your 3D self is like, I don't know. And when you can breathe in that space and sit in that space and find joy and peace and freedom in that space, you know you are sovereign. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can harm you. And I mean nothing. No boogeyman, no entities, no darkness, no narcissist, no, political agenda, nothing. Nothing can get you when you are in a place of sovereignty, which many of us are being called into that initiation now. Many of us are being asked to rise into that higher state of being. And what it takes is a surrendering, a stripping of the ego, and a deep, deep faith. And a faith in spirit, a faith in a higher power. And you can only have established that relationship with God, with spirit, with universe, if you have had these really dark nights of the soul, these initiations, if you've been on this spiritual path in this journey and you haven't been resisting, if you've been in it and working it, then you are now coming to this place right now where you are actually able to step into full body awakening sovereignty in your power. In your power. Knowing that you are a creator and you manifest your entire reality. Everything that you want, everything that you desire because it's meant for you. You would not have the desire if it wasn't meant for you. It is meant for you. So claim it now. Now that you are sovereign, now that you are free, claim it now. Okay, that was the message. Yeah, I don't feel that there's any more to say about this at this point. I do think I will make a video at a later date around more about the spiritual ascension process and the journey, things that can be occurring to you if that's happening, things like changes in diet, sleep patterns, you know, obviously people in relationships not vibing anymore, people leaving your life, disinterest in all the hobbies and things that you used to do and used to find enjoyment in, having zero interest in them now, a need and a want to be out in nature and to connect and commune with Mother Earth. There was one other I was going to say, but Mercury retrograde, so we'll let it go. Anyways, I'm thinking about maybe going more into depth and about those things in a later video, so I will do that. But I really just wanted to leave you guys with this empowering message about your own sovereignty, about trusting your path. If things are really hard and really bleak and it feels like everything has left you and you're alone and you're isolated and there's nothing going on, know that you are in such a beautiful portal, such a magical place. And the invitation is to step into your power and your sovereignty because you have nothing left to lose at this point. There is nothing that you are clinging to. There's nothing that you're attached to anymore because you know that you've let it all go, you've surrendered, and what comes to you is meant for you. What doesn't come to you is not meant for you. You got this, you beautiful starseeds, and I will see you again very soon for another video. Hope you're having a beautiful day.